got some rain coming, boys. It's spitting on me for a half hour, and just checked the radar and looked in the sky, and yeah, we've got a huge band of rain coming. So I'm gonna be pretty wet here this evening, but I'm gonna try my best to stick it out. I ain't no fair weather hunter. And then we're gonna start hitting it hard. We're gonna get real aggressive with the rattling. It's October 31st. It's 40 degrees. Big cold front. It's kind of cloudy right now. It's calm. Gonna be a good morning. We're gonna shoot a big one. I was hearing stuff. There were two small bucks. One of them went across the creek, or it looked like he was, and the other one was like just down here below me. There might have been a third one, I couldn't quite tell. Big buck. I saw this deer come running down, and I thought it was just one of the ones that I just saw 5 minutes ago. Put my binoculars up, I look, and he had a nice rack on him. He was running though, so I don't know what's happening down there. But he came running down, ran across the creek, stopped. I grabbed my rattle bag, started rattling, and then I just dropped it out of the tree. And there's a giant bush below me, so I don't know where it's at. You gotta be ready in the deer wood, stuff will happen like that. I don't know how big he was. It looked like a good rack. I don't know if it was any of the ones on camera. I don't think it was, because when he was running, I didn't really see the rack when he was running. I just saw it when he stopped, turned his head. It glistened in the sun, and it's through a bunch of brush, so I don't think he was a monster. He was probably 100 inches maybe, but my brother's hunting down the ridge. He's just texted me and said it was a monster, but anyway. Oh, it's exciting when you see deer. It's November 4th. It's the afternoon hunt. I wasn't able to hunt this morning, but we're out here this evening. It's a little bit warmer, about 55 degrees. We're gonna set up over the food plot tonight. I just bumped a deer. It was a small deer. Little after the hunt interview, make this quick. I saw 3 doe, 1,000 squirrels, a groundhog, and that little spike 4-point buck. And the doe never really came in close. That buck, about 60 yards out, gave him some grunts, and came in on a dime. Only the big boys did that. The sun just peeked up over the hill here. Commence rattling. Skills are a 15 out of 10. What do you think? here. He's on the phone. It's about 9 o'clock right now, but we're gonna sit tight and see what happens. So he put his crossbow down, standing up against a tree, pulled out a bleat can and started bleeding. Suspect on the move. This dude's on a mission. It is 9:14. I want to sit till at least 10. I mean, it's peak of the rut. Anything can happen. I'm sitting up here on this ridge over top doe bedding and stuff, so anything can happen. It's Sunday evening. Walking in the stand right now, and I just bumped a little half-rack buck on the hill behind me there, probably about 75 yards from me. I'm about 100 yards from the stand, but he was just bedding there watching this whole area, so we're gonna try to get to the stand quickly and get up before stuff starts moving. Hopefully tonight's a good one. It's November 12th. Today's Sunday. It's the one Sunday in archery season that we can hunt. We're down over the food plot tonight. My brother is sitting up where I sat last night, and he's covered in deer right now. Small buck, some does, but it's cold, so they gotta be moving. There was a button buck that came down off the hill, and he went to the creek to get a drink, and then there were actually 2 doe right to my left, about 75 yards. I don't know what's wrong with this deer. Oh, here he comes again. He's like grunting and golfing and doing weird stuff. This deer's a little special. We're set up in the ladder stand tonight, which is on the opposite end of the food plot. They just took the soybeans off about 2 hours ago. I'm hoping because the beans are off that the deer might get a little curious and work their way out towards the field this evening. I got the wind in my face. It's a northeast wind, so hopefully that also will get the bucks to travel this outer edge of this transition area, coming downwind, scent checking for does. So we're gonna sit tight and hopefully deer are moving more than they were the last few days. Just had a little 8-point come through. He actually wasn't a bad little buck, but I didn't see him till he was about 45 yards to my left here. I heard some walking, but I just chalked it up to be a squirrel because, I mean, there's so many squirrels around me right now. He was a decent little buck, too. He wasn't a little scrappy one. He was actually a nice little 8, probably 80 inches or something. So someday he'll be a nice one, but plenty of light left and already had a nice buck move through, so I'm happy. Well, I pouched up my raccoon. This thing came in from behind me, was literally right underneath me, and I was gonna shoot it. But then I was like, I should probably switch my arrow out and don't waste a good broadhead on it. By the time I got my arrow switched around, he was gone. Well, that was a pretty decent deer. Had that button buck come up over the hill here right in front of me. Walked right under my stand. He walks behind me, and then I just happened to look to my right, and I saw a big old body standing there, and he was looking down the hill. I was like, there's gotta be more deer. And then I saw a doe pop up behind him, and I think she was a hot doe because button buck went over there, and then the button buck started running. The big buck turned and started running, and that doe kind of backed away, and then obviously ran and they started chasing her. So that buck this morning was standing right here and the doe came out of there. The funny thing though is the lock-on stand is right there. He would have been all 25 yards. So if I wanted to shoot that deer, I definitely could have if I was sitting there.